Namaste. It's been over 4.5 years since I last posted an update on this mud house, and honestly, it's about time. A lot has happened behind the scenes, and many of you have emailed me questions about the flooring, the roof, the cost of construction, the kinds of paint used, so on. So, in this video, I'll walk you through all of that, what went right with the construction, what I messed up with, and what I could have done better, and also share some updates on how things have been holding up since the construction. So, we finished building the house around March 2021, and we've been living here since then. The structure has held up really well with hardly any maintenance except for the roof, which I'll talk about in a bit. So, starting with this wall, this is some unfinished paintings where I was experimenting with different natural binders. I tried a few types like starch based binders, gum based binders, oil based binders. And among all of these, the linseed oil is holding up the best so far. And one in the corner is made using egg yolk. That's also doing really well, but the bottom part is kind of washed off mainly because there's tap next to it and water keeps splashing on it. If you remember from the mud plaster video, our first trial had a few issues. Some of the walls sounded a bit hollow, and ideally we should have redone those sections, but we decided just to leave it and see how long it would last. Luckily, we haven't had any problems with the plaster so far. It's holding up surprisingly well. We did do a cement wash just at the bottom because we had some really heavy rains and didn't want to take the risk of mud plaster washing out. Now let's go inside. So the linseed coat on the door held up really well. The other doors are mostly made up of plywood, so we used regular paint. The flooring, as you see, is red oxide flooring. The Ganesha that was painted with natural pigments are still nice and bright. I love how the Mara has been aging. The mango pigments and the soil mural is also nice and bright and aging very nicely. And now about the roof. This has been the trickiest part of the whole house. We had issues with water leaking through the tiles. It could have been due to two things. First, we used repurposed tiles from 3 to 4 different sources, so there might have been slight size mismatches, or maybe the welding between the tiles was not done properly. Whatever the reason is, we tried to fix it by just patching the leaking spots, but it kept getting worse. So then we tried to use tar sheets to stick over the tiles. That actually worked for a year, but after a while the sun started melting them and the leaks came back. Then finally we decided to cover it with a tarp and reed grass. This has been working really well for the past 2.5 years now. Coming to the most asked question, the cost of building this house. So firstly, the built-up area of the house is about 950 square feet, and if I include the balcony, it's around 1200 square feet. For most of the construction, we had one mason and one main helper, but depending on the kind of work, we had extra help, usually about 3 men, 2 women, and a mason on an average. And for the cost breakdowns, our foundation costed us around 52,000. The cob walls around 70,000. All the soil that we used for building our walls was dug just next to the property. For the roof, initially it costed us around 1.8 lakhs and then another 50,000 for the repairs. Plastering around 60,000. For the flooring, we did red oxide flooring as I said before. So it has 3 layers. The base layer is of bricks, broken bricks, and then it's damped with sand, and then a layer of limecrete, and the top layer is red oxide mixed with white cement. For flooring, it costed us around 60,000. And one thing that is missed in the flooring is the last final polishing. Usually a layer of coconut oil is polished over it before it dries completely, but I was not completely aware of the whole process, so we've just done a basic polishing on it. Another thing I often get emails about is asking for help with construction. So I just wanted to clarify, this was a personal project, something we did for ourselves because we wanted to live here in the farm. And we chose to build with mud because it felt right for the kind of life we wanted. And that said, we do have plans to build a few more bamboo pots around the property, something small and simple. And I'll definitely share more details once we get started on that. And I have another really important update. So going forward, you'll be seeing more videos on natural colors and not much with respect to construction. I'm really excited to share the natural color journey with you. So stay tuned